When I mention the name Thiago Silva, a lot of people may think about the Paris Saint-Germain center back, and a solid player at that. But we are not discussing the man who plays in Ligue 1. We are talking about Thiago Silva, the UFC fighter. A lot has transpired within the last 24 hours. Here is what we do know that is finally confirmed. I know that Kevin Ioli, who does a fantastic job on Yahoo, could not confirm this right away. There was some speculation, but now we have more reports flooding in. Whether it is the Sun Sentinel coming out of Florida or ESPN.com, what have you, here's what we do know. The UFC fighter Thiago Silva was armed. He went into a gym in Oakland Park, Florida, and he threatened everyone inside of the gym, reports state. He went in armed. I am not going to emphasize that enough. He went in armed, threatened people, and then he left. He barricaded himself in his home, in Fort Lauderdale. A SWAT team was called, and then they finally found a way to arrest him and take him into custody. The charges that Thiago Silva is dealing with right now: aggravated battery, resisting an officer. The academy that he went into was Pablo Popovitch MMA Academy, again in Oakland Park, Florida. No one was harmed physically, but maybe they were harmed mentally. It might catch you off guard a little bit when you're training and you're just doing your thing on a random Thursday night, and then someone walks in armed and threatens you. That could leave a lasting impression on you and your mental state. It's a jiu-jitsu school, by the way, in Oakland Park, Florida. All this took place in Broward County, it appears. The police department did not have records right away, so obviously you have to give Kevin Ioli and Yahoo a pass on this. He trains in Boca, but this is not the first time the 31-year-old light heavyweight UFC fighter has dealt with trouble and adversity throughout his stint in UFC. Now, he has a fine record, but the problems have persisted throughout his career. In 2011, he was suspended by the Nevada State Athletic Commission for a tainted urine sample, and then shortly thereafter, he failed another drug test for marijuana use. And he also failed to make weight in a win against Matt Hamill. Again, barricaded himself at his Fort Lauderdale home, set up a perimeter around his home, and the SWAT team was called. Not necessarily the sort of impact, not the lasting impact, but the sort of shenanigans that Dana White and the UFC team wants in their league. Thiago Silva was set to fight, by the way, in the next event at UFC 171, March 15th in Dallas, Texas. That is obviously up in the air. Who knows how that will be dealt with and if they will pull him out of that event. Do you guys think he should be pulled? I personally do. This sort of conduct is absolutely not welcome. It should not be welcome in any league, no matter which one it is. It shouldn't matter if it's the UFC, shouldn't matter if it's boxing, shouldn't matter if it's the NBA. If there is any sort of harm that you are doing to the public, and even, I'm not going to say even to yourself, and if you're harming your body and you're harming your own mental state and whatnot, it doesn't seem like it belongs. I really hope Thiago Silva gets better. I don't know what sort of situation transpired and what brought this sort of action and this sort of attention to his life. But I will say this, I really hope that he gets better mentally, and I would love to see him make a nice comeback. I'm rooting for him. But right now, it doesn't seem like he should be fighting, and he should be punished for what he is doing. The extent of that punishment, you guys can discuss in the comments section below. Dana White will have the final ruling, obviously.